Hey team, I really look forward to getting to know you guys, and it's important for you to get to know one another as well so that we can work well together in this space. Also, students are just more inclined to show up and enjoy their learning if they experience that sense of community. So as you're able to, please feel free to take some liberties and connect and build some friendships or at least some networking for the quarter ahead of us. As far as requirements, this project is a 200 to 300 word original post. So the blurb of writing that you do should be 200 to 300 words. And I'd love to see you chunking that out into paragraphs or stanzas or whatever makes sense. I'm adding that into the instructions. And then you're going to write or present this in the third person point of view. It's just an easier way for everyone to figure out how you want to be addressed, what name you go by. If you would please explain to us in your bio how to pronounce your name, that could be really awesome just for, again, building that sense of community and identity in this space. Also, writing in the third person point of view is a nice exercise to begin because it's very natural to just spit out sentences in the first person. Like when I say, hi, my name is Amber Lemire and I like the color green and sushi and dogs and cats and all that stuff. But then when you need to write in the third person, it sort of forces you back to the drawing board to do some revising and editing. And what I'm trying to do with this project is accomplish many things. One of the things is, like I said earlier, to get to know one another, for me to get to know you. The other is to give us a foundation for each other's identities that we can pull from in order to find things to write about. More on that later. And then another one is to really begin working already on one of our course learning outcomes. I was looking at the screen because I want to read the 6th course learning outcome for English 101, which is use a writing process that includes generating original ideas, drafting, revising, and editing for the intended audience purpose and context. And the thing is, you don't need to write a whole essay in order to begin practicing, reflecting on, just in general, thinking about your writing process and ways you might want to develop it or grow or really just lean into it because you feel like you have a strong one. So the third requirement here is that you'll enhance this original discussion post, this bio, with an image of you, or for those of you who are more private or for any reason would prefer not to post an image of yourself or a series of images, just choose some image to grab our attention that represents you. For some, that might be a peaceful stream. For others, it's a picture of their dog, whatever works for you. And there's a link to a Canvas resource that will help you to embed images so that you get some practice with Canvas as well. So now I want to give you some tips for that writing process learning outcome, just so that I give you guys a boost as you embark on this first task. All right, we are going to look at how to use the tried and true spider web method just to get you guys going so that you can get beyond that writer's block, or if you're just freezing up at the blank page. I know it's a lot of pressure to just have white space and be like, tell everyone about you. So go to the drawing board, whatever your board is, a piece of scratch paper, and just start with your name or me. And like I said, how do you pronounce it? So mine am like burr, like you're cold or something. I don't know. This is very embarrassing. But anyway, that's how you pronounce my name. And then I might be like, you know what? I want to talk about the history of my name or my name meaning. And then for some reason, I'm also just thinking about like being named. So now I'm thinking about my origins, where I was born, when I was born, what generation that I'm a part of. Then I start thinking about my family. And so I am one girl and I have 3 brothers. And I forgot to tell you guys that I grew up in Cowlitz County in Longview, Kelso. So I'm not jotting that down, but I would be if I were you sitting at your table or your desk or wherever and brainstorming for this writing project. Now I am in a family with my husband, Eric, And then our son, Hilo, Helo, Hilo. It's short for helicopter, and he's 2 years old. And we have a cat named Vespa. I wouldn't say we're cat people, we're Great Dane people, so I want to tell you about that. And then I'm feeling like I'm getting really personal, but I want you to know about my education, because context-wise, that's what we're doing here. So then I might go out and be like, I'm a teacher, and I have an MA and a BA, and I went to LCC. I'm an alumni here. And then I might get a little bit bored of all of this serious talk, so then I might be like, I'm afraid of worms, and my favorite color is green, and my favorite food is Thai food, and on and on and on. And so you'll see that you have these different like clusters and whatnot. But again, it just takes the pressure off of you to sit down and write from top to bottom of the page, and instead you can just sort of puke all over. That's disgusting, but you can puke all over a piece of draft paper, a poster board, and then take this process in steps. You can go have a snack and come back to it. So I'm sure you guys are thinking about this already. I mean, you kind of witnessed it on my board behind me, that the questions are endless. Like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite holiday? What freaks you out? What calms you down? What do you love spending your time doing? What's your personality type? What's your Enneagram? What's your Myers-Briggs? What do you look forward to? What are your dreams? How would others describe you? What do you know about? What are you skilled at? Blah, blah, blah. The answers are endless, and you don't have to share everything. So this idea that you'll brainstorm it all and be able to look at it allows you to then decide which of the things are you going to just keep private and which of the things do you want to bring to the group. And here are a few guiding principles when you're deciding what you're going to bring forth from your brainstorm. First of all, what are you comfortable with? What do you want people to know? Everybody has a different level of privacy or protection. So some of us wear ourselves, everything on the sleeve. We're pretty open books. Others, all respect and props to you if you just want to be a pseudonym and be mysterious. My phone kicked me off, but what I was trying to say is that is an admirable way to be and to live. So be thinking about where you land on that spectrum and just make those decisions. I'm not forcing you to share anything that you don't want to share, but be thinking about the purposes of this discussion board. Like I said earlier, it's to build community, to practice your writing process, and to be able to establish a sense for your identity so that you and we can look to that bio to draw insight for discovering topics that we might want to write about. So if you express some of the dimensions of who you are and you give us a non-limited view of all the layers that make up your person, then we have more ideas to potentially support each other. Meaning, I'm more than just a teacher. I'm more than just a mom. I have interests beyond what might be obvious. So the more clues that I present to the group, the more possible people I can connect with. The more of you guys who are going to read my bio and say, oh, I relate to that. I don't relate to that, but I relate to that other detail. Or if you were helping me come up with ideas for what to write about, rather than just being like, well, you want to be a teacher when you grow up, so maybe you should write about education. You might discover that I'm also really passionate about singing or dancing or visual art and architecture. So it might be worth my time, for instance, to do a project about mid-century design, because I'm passionate about those things and it could still benefit my life to write about them. That is the main stuff that I want to convey to you guys right now. But I do want to reiterate some final tips about how to get this moved from brainstorm to writing. So the idea is, if you put them in that spider web, are already sort of organized into sections, but you still might want to find similar sections or ways of transitioning. Like you could like almost the way that I was writing it on the board. Like, I was born and then I was raised with my family, but now my family is, and what we like to do is, but I also am a teacher, and I became a teacher because I went to school. So look for those possibilities for transitions and for keeping things organized. Begin drafting your sentences in whatever tone feels comfortable to you. For me, when I was a younger student, and probably still to this day, if I ever feel frustrated with a writing task, but I want to keep my fingers moving so that I can keep at least making or feeling like I'm making progress, I write even when I'm frustrated, even when I don't know what to write, and I say, I don't know how to explain this. I don't know if this is what I should be doing. I hate this. I hate how this sounds, but, and I find that if I just let out the words and stop trying to make them what they're supposed to be and just let them out, that then I can at least look at what's on the page and delete and combine and alter the tone. Like I said earlier, you can write in the first person and then shift it to the third person. And it's just a really helpful way to get beyond that writer's block feeling. When you're finished with creating your draft, I would also love to see you drafting, or at least placing this work in your Google folder in a document for your bio or your introduction. But paste that bio, completed 200, 300 words, the images, all of it, into the box below these instructions where it says reply. And that will add your bio to the thread in this discussion board. And then you will see everyone else's boxes start to accumulate over time, and underneath each person's bio is also a line for reply, and that's what you're going to do next. So just note that you can reply to the instructions to post your initial bio, and then you can reply underneath each person's bio in order to send them a direct reply. And that is all for now. Have a great time with you guys. If you have any question or revelation or just want to process it with me, that's what I'm here for. I'm your instructor, and I'm here to help you practice your writing process. Reach out.